a lot of people have asked me why I called the tour flowers, and obviously flowers are cool, and I'm covered in flowers or wearing a flower suit or whatever in some of the pictures. But the real reason is because when I look at people, I I see people obviously, but I also see like a garden, and gardens are built out of what you nurture, what you plant there, and what you help grow. And it's the mission with flowers to build and bring as much community as possible, bring it to people who feel like they don't have it, and nurture it in the places that are already doing a great job. And so, whether it's me doing something, or it's the flower girls, or it's just like the staff as a whole, we're all striving to leave a mark on every place that we go, to make it feel a little bit more unified in any way that we can. I mean, this tour is special to me, and it's the first time I'm able to really do what I want to do and move how I want to move, as far as all the parts that go into it. I can't wait to see you there.
You ready for your headliner? You've seen him on the Daily Show all over YouTube. Put your hands together for Josh Johnson.
I don't know about y'all, but I just paid my taxes, and they got me. Oh, they got me good. Oh, they got me real good. I was wondering if they would get me. And then they were like, no, we didn't forget about you. We think you're special. We would never forget. And I know they charged me extra. They got me charged me extra because they know I won't survive jail. So they're like, he gonna pay it. Just write a number. He'll make it happen. It's been great traveling this week. I've been able to go to Milwaukee, Madison, now Minneapolis, and everything. When I was in Madison, there was something sort of curious that was happening. I like being in Minneapolis because y'all smile an appropriate amount. You smile when something good is happening. You know what I mean? When I was in Madison, there were so many errant smiles. There were people just looking forward like, huh. I've never been in a city. I told them this too. I told them this to their face. I was like, y'all all walk like you walk into the light. Like, this is crazy. I try to be a jolly person, but this is insane. Nah, man, what? It was wild. And when I was there, I like when people are happy. I hope to make people happy. But when people got a little bit too much of it going on, I do have to get to the bottom of it. And so I did do a couple things. It's something I like to do in any city when I see too many people smiling when I get there. I immediately go to that city's Yelp. Because I'm like, there are problems here somewhere. We just have to find where they are. You know what I mean? Not everything is a 5-star experience. Not everybody gonna give a 5-star. And it didn't take long. I found a 1-star. I won't name the establishment, but the review simply said, their old fashions taste like barbecue sauce. Let's be clear about something. You have to have such a fundamental understanding of how old fashions and barbecue sauce taste to take a sip of alcohol and go, nah, that's Sweet Baby Ray's. I know Sweet Baby Ray's. when I taste it. You not slick just because you thinned it up a little bit. Oh, it's tough too, because when you're dealing with some of this happiness in different places, you wonder, did y'all get taxed? Do you know what I mean? They must have skipped over y'all if y'all so happy all the time. And I think sometimes taxes feel extra difficult because when you pay them, you feel like you're paying them for everything that happens next, not to pay for the life you were living up until that point. Does that make sense? It's like when you pay rent, you're paying rent to keep living there. But when it comes to taxes, you're mostly paying for everything that already happened, that you already enjoyed or didn't enjoy, depending on the city. And I think that if you got something back with your taxes, let's say you pay your taxes, they give you that tax return and everything. You can read all the numbers, why they say you owe what you owe or why you got back what you got back. And then they list next to that what they paid for with it. That might make people feel a little better, you know? Because we don't know where our tax dollars go exactly. So then something happens and you feel like you're paying for that. And you're like, this isn't what I paid for. And somebody should tell you, oh, no, this isn't on you. That's not, that wasn't your money. You know what I mean? Like paying taxes as part of a country feels like when the bill comes and you got to split it, but you only got wings. Like, hey, I got 6 wings. All right, there are 6 sets of bones in my basket. I didn't take any errant bites or anything. And some of y'all are alcoholics. I am not prepared to split this bill with you. You have your barbecue sauce old fashions. You have your... I'm not down for this. Because everybody's having some money troubles right about now. I mean, from all different ways. People are getting squeezed in lots of different directions, you know? Like we already know, tariffs are almost old news now. But the fallout isn't. The fallout is fresh. The Dow has only dropped by 1,000 points 11 times in history. And 4 of them were in like the last 2 months. Like this is very bad. If this were a roller coaster, this would be the part of the ride where your neck breaks. Like it's just... Engineers don't build this way. This is not safe. And you know, you see it through the tariffs. I've talked about it before, but those people on the money channels, they're still a bit nervous. They're still freaking out, you know. They still come on every day. One of my favorite things about watching them now is they talk to us like we're the news. They're there doing the news, but they looking right in the camera like, I don't... What y'all think? Oh, it's bad. You know, like just this week, you know, you had people losing money in all sorts of ways. I mean, Christy Nome. Christy Nome was at a restaurant, got her bag stolen, right? And I don't know. It is wild, okay, because then you have to... Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Okay, so then when you report your bag as stolen, right, and you got to list the contents of your bag, you know, her bag had her driver's license in it, had her passport in it. She had $3,000 in cash in her bag. $3,000! $3,000 in American dollars, $3,000 in cash. What you doing, Christy? That's $3,000. North American, south of Canada dollars. She had $3,000. That would make sense if this was like the 90s. You know, it's the 90s. You got it like that. You got 3,000 on you. You know, okay, you might see a food truck, want to treat the town. $3,000 in cash in 2025. $3,000 in the year of our Lord Apple Pay. If I had been the cop that she reported to, that the business, and she told me, listen in the back, oh, my DHS badge, my passport, my driver's license, so much stuff was in there. I had a couple of Jolly Ranchers, and oh yeah, $3,000 in cash. I'd be like, oh, do you rap or something? Like, why do you have that much cash on you? No, she had $3,000 in cash. But the kicker for me was she had a bunch of blank checks. I don't even have to, yeah. You still write checks. In 2025, you just got that blank check on you just in case something pop off, and $3,000 in cash isn't enough. This is the most prepared to be mugged individual I've ever seen in my entire life. That is insane. You already got $3,000 in cash. Imagine you pull up on Christy, no, you're like, give me everything. And then she's like, here, you about to walk away. And then for whatever reason, you don't know why, you just feel led for one moment. You look over your shoulder back at her. And she got a pen. You said give you everything, you know. A bunch of blank checks. I don't even know if the thief would know what to do. Like, there used to be whole departments dedicated to check fraud. And now it's like 2 dudes. People are not writing checks like that anymore. I bet you. They dump the contents out. They're like, oh, we score. We got $3,000 in cash. We got her DHS badge. I'm sure she's going to want that back. We got her passport, her driver's license. Oh, we got everything. Why she got a bunch of little papers with her name on it? Some people so conceited. No, because I had an incident happen to me when I was in college, where I left for the break, and when I got back, the RA, resident assistant, comes up to me as soon as I get back on campus, and she's like, hey, I'm going to walk with you to your room. Now, you could get in trouble at the school I was in. It was a dry campus. You could get in trouble for like having alcohol in your room, or like if they found anything. Sometimes if there was even a whisper of something in your room, they'd at least want to check it out. And so I didn't know if maybe somebody had said something. I lived in my own room. I had my own like dorm room by myself. And so I was like, I know nothing should be in there that I don't know about, unless maybe I left it unlocked. Somebody put something in there. I don't know. So I'm kind of freaking out on the walk to get to my room. And then I go ahead, I open the door. And before I open the door, she's like, okay, don't freak out. And I was like, that's not how you start. It's the least helpful way. She's like, don't freak out. While people were gone on campus, there were a series of break-ins, and your room was one of the ones that was broken into. Right? Now, this isn't like me being like poor me, but everything I had is everything I had. Right? So I like the stuff that I left there, I have one of everything. Right? And same for the stuff at home. And so I'm opening the door thinking like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't have money to replace things that might be missing or broken, you know. So I open the door, and my room is trashed. It's like fully ransacked and everything. And then she's like, you just make a list, okay? Make a list of everything that's missing, and we'll figure out if like the like Department of Public Safety on campus and the school at large can like help you recover some of it, or you know, maybe, who knows, maybe the school can like come up with the funds to help you get the stuff that was missing. And so I look around, and I'm moving clothes out of the way and all this stuff. I opened my closet. They were in my closet too and everything. And it takes a little while, but quietly I realized to myself that they didn't take anything. This. How embarrassing it is to get your place broken into, and a thief is like, I'm good. What do you do? What do you do? You know, I'm in my head, quietly walking around. You know, RA is still standing in the doorway and everything. I'm getting defensive in my head. I'm like, all right, I got a couple of good DVDs. All right, they not Fight Club fans. Like, no, I got a PS1. I know the PS3 is out, but I had a 1. They could pawn that. You know, they don't even have imagination. So finally the RA is like, so, anything? And I was like, yeah, they took my Gucci watch. I had 2 Chanel bracelets. You gotta put the bracelets down. Please write the bracelets down, okay? And I had about $3,000 in cash. You know? It's difficult when people are feeling like they're squeezed so much financially. Like there are things that you have to pay. But the thing, I guess, that gets me sometimes when it comes to paying tax, I feel like some of the reluctance around it is that it feels like you work all year and then you get taxed for this money that's going to be spent on a bunch of things that you didn't agree to. It less like you worked all year and it's to pay for the things that we already enjoyed. Does that make sense? Like the framing of it, I think, is why people have such a problem. You know, like if you just sent back the tax return and then listed the stuff. Yeah, I mean, we might be like, oh, I didn't know that I kept the bridge open. That's good. That's pretty good. I use that bridge every day. I'm glad it's not in shambles. That's fantastic news. You have to pay your taxes not just because the government is telling you to. It's not the government being some big bad meanie or something. It's you live here. And you use the road, so maybe chip in so that it doesn't fall all the way apart, you know? And like that's not to say, really quick, that's not to say that I just, pay my taxes blindly and love it and never question where it's going, because it is your money as well, so you deserve to have some say in where it goes. That's why we elect people to Congress. You know, it's why we pick the officials that we pick, even on a local level, because we're like, you work for me. You are my employee, and here are the things that I want to see. These are things that I don't want to see. It feels like in this moment we're in a real predicament of, I guess the best way I can describe it is I used to work at a store, and when I worked there, they promoted this one guy that was like, one of us, one of the cashiers. They promoted him, and they really shouldn't have done it. They clearly weren't paying attention. Like I was barely a good employee, and he was worse than me by far. And they promoted him. I was like, that blows my mind. And I wasn't jealous. It wasn't like I wanted a promotion. I felt like my duties to my level of commitment were right on par. Like I was like, let me stack the grapes, let me stock the shelves. Don't ask me to do more, and I promise not to do less, okay? But he was actively bad, and they promoted him. And a good example was he wanted to go to business school, and one of the assistant managers said, "Oh, I used to, go to business school. Like I graduated from business school. I tell you what, I will give you all my old business school books. I don't know how much of it will transfer, how much it will actually help you, but it can get you started before you actually start school. You might be able to learn some of the basic concepts. It'll help you, right?" And that was a very nice thing to do. He didn't need to do that. I respected that very, very much. He saw somebody with a dream. He wanted to help them along, And so he gave him these books. And I'm not even kidding. The next day, this dude comes to work and accidentally knocks over about a pallet's worth of wine because he was walking while reading the book. The book, I'm not even kidding, was called How to Understand Business. And this is who you promoted. We're in the business of selling groceries. We buy groceries from places, we hold them until people want to buy them from us, and then we sell them to them. We're in the business of buying and selling groceries. He will stand in direct conflict with our ability to buy and sell groceries. And you've promoted him. We're in a similar predicament now. As a country, we're in a similar situation because Pete Hegseth got in trouble again for the same thing from before. Basically, if you're not familiar, a bunch of people who are supposed to were using the app Signal to, talk about war plans. And, quick gist, they accidentally invited a journalist, and then the mission kicks off. They do the attack. The attack is successful, and everyone finds out, and they're like, "That was dumb. Don't do that again." And everybody was like, "We can't promise that. Like, that's not..." Okay. Well, fast forward to rewind, we are in the same situation again, because unbeknownst to, I guess, anybody at the time, Pete Hegseth had not only been using Signal to discuss war plans, he had a whole other channel where he was just talking to his wife, his brother, and his personal attorney. And you couldn't. This is what genuinely bothers me. Like this is what actually upsets me about the whole thing. Some people are upset. They're like, I can't believe they were discussing such sensitive information that should have been, they can say it's not top secret. They can say it's not classified, but it's at least something that we should hold tight until the mission happens. And he's just discussing it plainly on this app that could be hacked. And it's like those things, discussing it with people who shouldn't know isn't actually my problem. Maybe this is my own hot take, but I feel like that sort of thing happens all the time. I think anyone who's like married to someone in government, anyone who's married to someone high up in any business knows some things that they're not supposed to know. That's like human, actually. You don't think Michelle Obama? You don't think Michelle Obama was kept up at night knowing stuff she wasn't supposed to know? Do you hear me? You think Michelle Obama was in the White House like, Barack, what's wrong? And then Barack was like, it's classified. No. I don't think that happened. I'm sure Michelle was in the White House minding her own business. Eating a veggie plate. Barack halfway kicks open the door. I've had it up to here with them. Okay? They want to kill everybody. They want to blow the world up. Now you sitting there, you Michelle, you like, oh, I don't even want my carrots anymore. Oh, no. The thing that bothers me is that Pete just couldn't be professional, and wait for an hour till he got home to tell her in person. Like, just do it the way people normally do it. Walk in the door, be like, you won't believe. Like, that's the way you do it. But when I pay my taxes, I do get upset when I see it blatantly being misused. Like when Pete Hegseth is supposedly building a $40,000 studio in the Pentagon to do his makeup before he goes on TV. I'm like, that, if even $1 of that is mine, I'm very upset. Like, I'm not saying I'm the whole 40, but like, that's so insane. Secretary in the makeup room. Should he be at war? Like, every once in a while, you come into contact with somebody that from you know in a personal way, and eventually, maybe this has happened to some of you, you turn on local news and you see them, and you're like, I knew it was gonna be something. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock news, but they did something. You see that mug shot and everything. When I was in Chicago, I worked with this dude at our job, in the break room, we had a light sensor for the light switch. So you could just press it, lights come on, or, if nobody was in there or if you didn't move for long enough, lights go off, right? And one day, I'm walking into the break room, take my break, lights are off, I walk in, lights come on, and he's sitting there, already in the break room, eating barbecue. And let me go out on a limb right now and say that if you eat barbecue in the dark, you are a murderer, okay? You're already guilty in my mind. If you are that comfortable with bones in the dark, there's no telling what else you're capable of. If you are that comfortable slipping and sliding on your teeth and tongue, a barbecue is messy enough in the light. You should have seen his face when the lights came on. It was insanity. And then I walk in and he not even, if it were me and that happened, because I try to put myself in his shoes. I try to be empathetic. I'm like, okay, let's say you eating barbecue in the break room on your break, right? Kind of a heavy meal for a 15-minute break, but to each their own, you know what I mean? You go be sleepy when you come back, but I want everybody to enjoy their life. So let's say you're eating barbecue in the break room and you are somehow doing it so still. I'm not saying he should be hitting the rib like corn on the cob. You know what I mean? I'm not like I'm not saying he should be digging into it with his face. Like, in case you're wondering, that is, at least in my mind, the sound you make when you eat barbecue in the dark, like that. If you eat barbecue in the dark, you don't eat it like the rest of us. The rest of us chew like civilized people, but if you in the dark eating barbecue, you are wilding out. You're doing whole other sounds and effects that the rest of us don't do, you know? I'm not saying that you need to be doing a bunch of extra movements when you eat your barbecue. I'm just saying if you're doing it so still, you know, munch, munch, munch. Munch, munch, munch. Munch, 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 munch. Munch, munch, yum. Munch, 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 munch. If you're doing it so subtle that a light sensor, that technology was like, ain't nobody in the room. And then they decide to shut the lights off on you, and you still did not feel led to change the conditions of your meal. If you were eating barbecue in the break room and then the lights go off and you're like, that's even better. That tells me you're not right in the head. Something is going on with your mind or your spirit. Something is evil in you. Munching away. And then you think to yourself, oh, what if someone walks in? What if someone walks in and feels like, this is awkward, this is weird. I would hate for them to judge me and my entire personality based off of one instance, you know? Maybe I should get up and paw my way, if the lights don't come on, to the light switch and press it so the lights come on and the room is once again filled with God's holy light. I even tried to extend that olive branch and be like, you know what? He probably didn't want to get barbecue sauce on the switch. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he thought if he was flinging his hands, he'd get barbecue sauce on the walls. That would look even scarier because now I walk in, the wall's red, you got a bone in your hand, you munching away. Really try to put myself in that headspace. Try to be fair to him. And after I got through thinking all those thoughts, I was like, nah, the whole thing was weird. No, I was right. It's insane. Okay. Side note. I left that job, right? And one day I was catching up with a different coworker. I was telling them what happened, right? I was like, hey, I was super weird. Like, I get in there and, you know, he'd been in the dark, so he wasn't fazed. It wasn't like something just happened and I walked in right after or whatever. And they were like, oh, you know what? I didn't want to tell anybody. But the same thing happened to me. Which means on a different day, this man was eating barbecue so gentle that he lost the light again. And this dude, okay, so look, so my coworker told me, they were like, no, okay, so when I walked in, that light, I think, was genuinely broken because I walked in and it was still dark. Like, it didn't just come on because I swung the door open, right? So we at least know now he didn't turn the lights off on himself. Because I did worry about that. I did worry that man took his break, went to the break room with his barbecue, knew what he was about to do, knew how unchristian he was about to behave, set the barbecue down on the table and was like, nobody needs to know. But yeah, so apparently there was a problem with the light in the break room, and they were like, yeah, but when I walked in, he was eating the barbecue, and I'm pretty sure he was choking. Which would make you feel bad for him for a second, until you really put yourself in that situation. Because if you walk in to a dark room, you assume nobody's in there. And the sound of someone choking on barbecue in a dark room does sound like a demon. It does sound... If you walk in and start... No, do it real quick. Close your eyes. Close your eyes real quick. I want everybody to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Piece of brisket getting caught in the back of your throat, and now you sound like Beelzebub. No. And so then when the light from the door spilled in, they saw him. And they couldn't really make him out. Because they were kind of blocking the light themselves, just standing in the doorway. And they said that they just saw him, like, eating in the corner. Which, why are you facing the wall? I forgot to mention that. That happened to me, too. He was facing the wall. It's already dark. You don't need to worry about being seen. But he's facing the wall going... I was like, what did you do? What did you do when that happened? And they were like, I thought it was a demon. I yelled out loud, I rebuke you. And then I closed the door. Oh, man. So then, you know, I'm chilling in my apartment in Chicago and watching the news. And I see a mugshot with a familiar face who had been arrested for trying to rob a barbecue restaurant. It's especially tough right now because I think people are getting squeezed from more angles than we thought was possible, right? It's like, wages aren't increasing, jobs are hard to come by because of layoffs. Some of the layoffs are like the seasonal layoffs when, companies restructure and everything, things that we're actually used to. But then some of them are people losing their jobs in government. Some people are losing their jobs in the private sector in place of potential like AI advancements and stuff, all while you have the tariffs going on. And I truly believe that some of it is preventable. Obviously, there's going to be ebbs and flows with every economy. There's going to be ebbs and flows with every country throughout its history of how rich it is or how markets fluctuate. Some of these are unforced errors, and some of these are things that just happen, but it's all happening at one time, And I think very basically, I wish everyone could agree on it, but we're not there yet, that just by being human, just by virtue of being alive, you deserve access to basic necessities, the most basic of things, right? And especially if you're working. If you are working full time and you're still struggling to get the basic, we're talking about food, water, and shelter. We're talking about the most basic things. And I think sometimes when you bring up the people who are having a rough time, they're having a rougher go of it than is just, right? Life isn't fair, but you build the scale so that things can level out, so that they can be just. And when you talk about people who are having a rough time, who need extra help to try to get level, and they're working, they're doing their best. I think people conflate that with people who want luxuries or they want something for free. These people are already working. We are the hardest working country in the world. We clock more hours than anybody else, and we every year have less and less to show for it. We have less to show in healthcare. We have less to show in education and possibility of upward mobility. Every year we work harder, and every year we have less. We take less vacation days than pretty much anyone in the world, and for all of our hard work, we are not seeing the fruits of our labor. And there are people who will tell you, oh, but if you just work a little bit harder, if you just do it this way, oh, I'm smart, I figured it out, you will too. It's people who are not addressing the fact that everyone does not get a fair shake. Like, you only need to look at me as an example. You don't think I want to be in the NBA? I did everything that I was supposed to do. I ate my greens. All right, I shot the ball. I did the running. I did everything. But trust me, if I show up to an open tryout and shoot my shot for whatever team will have me, they will be calling security. All right. And finances work in a similar way. I'm not coming down on anybody who came up well, went to a good school, and then through that good school, you made a connection, which got you your job, which affords you your lifestyle. I'm not saying you don't work hard. I'm saying everyone doesn't have that same opportunity, And I think that at the very basis, right? At the very basis of food, water, and shelter, people get it in their head that even shelter means, a lavish house or something. Lavish. I'm not talking about lavish things. I'm talking about enough to get by. Everyone is fighting to get by. When you talk to people who don't have about what they want, they just want to be level. They're not asking for expensive, lavish things like outdoor furniture. Patio furniture is ridiculously expensive. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's literally outside. You don't even want it in your home. It's almost trash. I don't care how comfortable it is. You literally let it get rained on. You buy it from a store and then you bring it inside for a second just to take it out to the backyard and leave it there. And it's too expensive. It's crazy. In fact, when the outdoor furniture is inside, That's when you know it's bad. When I was living with some friends in college, their lawn chairs were the chairs. And I was like, we in a bad situation. We're not doing well. You got the patio furniture in front of the TV. We about to die tomorrow. Whew. Yeah. You know? It's bad. It's bad. And it shouldn't be this bad, you know? You work, you pay your taxes, those things should come back to benefit you. And it's still, there's a narrative that's going on that's got all of us really going after and arguing with each other. As if there's limited resources, as if there's limited money, as if there's limited opportunity, and we know there's not. We know that there's actually plenty to go around. Even with the hundreds of millions of us that are in this country, there's plenty to go around because we know how much billionaires have. Because they make it known how much they have, you know? Like you see how much land they own and you're like, that is a lot of people could live there. That's crazy. Or you know that CEO that said he wanted to own all the water. It's like, that's something you keep to yourself. What a sociopathic thing to say. Oh, I want all the water. You can't even drink it. What's wrong with you? That's what kills me. It's like people think that it's solely government. People think that it's their job. They think it's not. I promise it's not. And what really burdens me, what keeps me up at night is that these people are siphoning all this money. They siphon it from the government. They get benefits from the government. They get tax cuts from the government. They siphon all this money. They siphon your wealth from you. They siphon it in wages by the fact that they don't increase. They siphon it off of like shrinkflation when they act like they cry poor and then they charge you more for less. They siphon all this money, all to what end? To have a few people have all that money. All of that money, more money than anyone will ever need in their lifetime. And you know it because they don't spend it. They siphon all of this money out. They are literally parasitic. And then they dress like me. That's so crazy. You have all the money in the world and you look like me. What are you doing? That's so crazy. Oh, it doesn't have to be this way. And I know sometimes you can feel powerless, especially when the big thing is happening, when the big thing is just going, you know. But with a movement towards any action that is based in the people's wishes, it has to come to fruition in any instance. And you see it all over the world. You see people rise up in whatever form it takes to make their voices heard. And it's still very much possible. I know that there's a narrative out there that you're like a cog, that there's nothing you can do, and that you might as well just scrounge up as many pennies as you can to get by, and that'll be the best you can ask out of life. You know? It's to the point now where even people who cross over that $1 million threshold, they enter that tax bracket, they still feel that way. You could make $500,000. You could have $300,000 saved up, and you might sell something within your company, make another $200,000. You might cross that $1 million threshold, even by just a little bit, and still be like, I'm barely getting by. And people roll their eyes at that. They scoff at that. But the way that things are set up, unless you are uber rich, it's very easy to drop right out of that tax bracket. None of that is certain. You know, small business owners, some of them could be considered millionaires, but they'll tell you, they're like, my actual business and the people that I care for, the employees that I employ that depend on me for their benefits, for their livelihood. It's like we are month to month, right? So this structure doesn't end at just taking care of yourself. And it's why everybody, to the best of our ability, we have to be looking at the whole. The way that they play it is the way that benefits them every single time. Someone who's already a billionaire would love for you to just try to be like me. You can do it if you work hard enough. That's the narrative out there. They don't talk about how many government benefits they get, how many tax cuts they get, that they were born rich. They don't let any of that into the story because it would kind of ruin the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, it's literally, it's up to you because we're already there. We're already in a place where I don't see how things are just going to get better by themselves. People are putting burritos on layaway. That's insane. That's so crazy. There are apps now that they come to you and they're like, hey, we'll let you finance your lunch, dog. Pay $3 now, we got you. And they do. They have you. And they don't let go. And before you know it, it's been a month. And that burrito that was $12 when you didn't have it is $65 now when you're done paying for it. And it wasn't worth it. And it's siphoned more from you. The things that weren't already taken. They can take your wealth. They're taking it now. They cannot take your worth. If you know your worth, if you remember your worth and you fight for it every day and you fight for it with who you vote for, you go to your town halls and you speak to them and you let them know, we hired you. You work for us. We pay our taxes. Go tell them that this is done. It doesn't have to be this way. We can demand more. And the thing that we're demanding is not some sort of handout. We're demanding our work back to us in proportion for how hard we've worked. These people they genuinely believe that they built this company up by themselves as if there's some idea truly as a self-made man. It's like, even if you built a company and you ship the things to the people and they love your product and they want more of it, and you think you're such a genius, there are people driving that truck. There are people packing up those packages. And then there's the road that you didn't build. In what world should it be like this? That's crazy. And then the narrative gets put back on us that we deserve these pennies, that we deserve such a small share of the thing that we helped build. Look around. Really look around when you walk around your city. Really look around when you travel. Wherever you go in America, no matter who you are, we built this. We built this together. We built it. And I'm not even saying that these like titans of industry don't hold a part in it. I'm not discounting someone having an idea and through ingenuity bring it to fruition to the point where they employ people, to the point where people depend on them. But there are responsibilities that come with that sort of thing. I wanted to start a candy company, and I was like, nah, I'm actually going to be a terrible boss. I'd be a terrible boss. I'd be in there in the candy factory eating all the chocolate, making myself sick. And then when people come to the factory to look at our chocolate, they'd be like, the boss is in the bathroom throwing up again because he's a child that can't stop himself. And that's why I didn't start a business, because I was like, there are other people that are better at it. It's tough. You shouldn't be put in a position where you got to put barbecue that you eat in the dark on layaway. Like that's
Who here lives here, by the way? Who here lives in New York? All right. I am not from here. I moved here, and I grew up in Louisiana, which, do y'all remember the first time that y'all had to hardcore ignore a person here? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're just like, I cannot engage with this individual. No good can come of it. Because I remember I grew up in Louisiana, very hospitable place, taught to be very polite. I moved here from Chicago, even more Midwest, nice and everything. So I moved to the city unprepared. I showed up making eye contact. I was over here smiling in people's face like, hey, how's it going? Just every day. It took me 3 weeks to ignore my first person, all right? That's too long. Living in New York is a boxing lesson you have to teach yourself. You know, just after a couple weeks, I was like, all right, tuck the chin, shoulders out, make a Philly shell. Stay ready. I'll never forget it. The first person that I ever had to ignore in New York, I was on the train, and this guy was asking me for change. And when he approached me, he had one ball out. That's a rough approach, all right? Because I'm not gonna lie, one ball out, I don't even recognize it right away. Like that. As someone with balls, if I don't see the whole package, I'm like, that's alien. He walked up looking like a monster. I was like, I wish I had a gun right now. That's insane. I was so upset, and he walked out, so then I was looking at my phone, right? And the worst part is that I'm sitting down and he's standing up. So the ball is in my peripheral, all right? It's right there. There's no escaping. And it's just, he too close for me to look harder at my phone. It's like the top right of my vision is fucked right now, okay? And so I can't look away. There's no looking away. And he's talking, he's like, come on, man, I know you hear me, man. And then I'm just like, no, just ignore him and he'll go away. It just look at your phone harder and he'll move on, right? And then he starts getting upset. He's like, come on, I know you hear me, man. But the more upset he gets, the more animated he gets. And the more animated he gets, the more he's moving. So now the ball is bouncing. The ball is bouncing up and down. This man is dribbling in my face. And I'm just looking at my phone, and I'm just like, just ignore him. He'll go away. And this is the thing. I didn't cry. I did not cry. I just didn't not cry. Like, I did start to tear up eventually, and my vision got blurry. Because this is the thing. There's no science behind what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I saw when I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't want to see it. So it's not even like something I'm trying to relate. It's just, every time he bounced, it felt like the ball got longer. And I was... That's just so like so then I'm tearing up, and then he still is getting madder and madder. He's like, hey, you can't just sit there. I'm a human being. You can't just ignore me, dog. And he's like bouncing around. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. He yelled at me for so many stops. I genuinely started to pray. And that's not a prayer you think you'll have to pray in a place that's not prison. You know what I mean? Like, I was just sitting there like, I don't know, I don't deserve this, Lord. I've been a good and faithful servant. All right, this is crazy right now. And then he was like, you know what? Screw you, man. I'm done with this. And he goes to turn around, but he's still clearly upset. He's still very mad. And so then, even as he turns around, he's like, and another thing. And then the ball swung. And I was like, sir, you're going to need to kill one of us, all right? Unacceptable. It does feel weird. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but it feels like nothing is actually viral anymore. Like, there's not a shared experience as much on the internet anymore. Like, you'll see something that interests you and it has 2 million views, and then you go to talk to people about it and no one has seen it. Isn't that crazy? Like, your internet is tailored so much to you, so deeply, that it's just your whole experience, which is what 2 million is a lot of views. That means either a lot of people watched it or some very passionate people watched it a lot of times. I'll tell you my favorite video, because I'm sure you haven't seen it. It's only got 2 million views. So my favorite video this week is a white woman in it. Probably my favorite white woman of the week as well, because she walks in to this police station with a gun. All right. Already very good, right? Already gripping. So then she walks in with the gun, and it must be late because there's no cops around, right? But then there's this receptionist, like, desk and glass, and she just starts beating on the glass with the gun, just beating on the glass nonstop, okay? And then I guess a cop finally comes towards the glass, and she's like, bam, bam, right? And then he moves out of the way, and then she's just walking around, and she's got the gun. I should point something out. the whole clip, she's holding the gun like this. Like it's the wildest gun position I've ever seen. No wonder she didn't hit anybody, because it's just like this the whole time. And she's walking back and forth with the gun like this. Every once in a while she like bam, bam. And then my favorite part is she sits down and crosses her legs, puts the gun down, pulls out what I think is a thermos, takes a couple glugs, puts it back down, gets up with the gun, bam, bam, bam. And then, police tase her and tackle her, and it's all settled. Now, the reason that I'm so obsessed with this video is that there's no sound. So I don't know what she's yelling about. I don't know what any of this is about. I don't know what was said or anything. So then I had to insert it for myself. The video has 2 million views, and I think I am 1.9 million of those views. I think I've not been able to stop watching, because this is my thing. White women are so helpful, especially to the police. So I feel like she just walked in and was like, hello? I found a gun. I found this gun outside, and is anyone here? Hello? Hello? I can't, I'm trying to return it. It's not my gun. And the cop walked up and she was like, bam! Oh no! Because he startled her and she had a gun. And just like a cop when he gets startled and he shoots. And so they're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God, this is so stressful. Oh my God, I love rosé. Anyway, does anyone want this gun? And then they tase her and they tackle her. And then even as they're picking her back up, she's like, it's not even my gun. You guys should be more responsible. No, I'm not kidding. Dude, yes. When your phones get out of jail, you need to watch this video. I'm not even kidding right now. If we could only put it up. It's genuinely insane. I'm so glad you looked it up right now, because some of y'all are looking at me like, a white woman would never walk into a police station with a gun. Yeah, no, I'm telling you exactly what happened. This is crazy. And she walks in, she's like, hello, bam, bam, bam. Thank you for looking it up. This is like, some of y'all just, wow. You looked me in my eye like, I know a lie when I hear one. I will, okay. You know what's actually crazy? I thought about this weekend. You know what I've never done at all in my life? I had to really think about it. Never once in my life have I Googled Jada Pinkett Smith. So why do I know so much? Why do any of us know so much? Isn't that crazy? I've never even Googled Jada and Will. I've never sought any of this information. I know so much about them, it feels like we're related. It's devastating. I don't know if y'all saw the most recent interview. She's given her 1,000th. And in it, she says that she says so many things. First of all, she said that she sold crack when she lived in Baltimore, which is believable. That's a very entry-level job in Baltimore. That part I was like, and? But then she also said her and Will have been separated for 7 years. Which, what? She also said that Tupac is her soulmate. It's like she's going out of her way to hurt Will's feelings now. This is really insane. Tupac is your soulmate. You've been married for decades. My soulmate's a guy from the 90s. And the more I think about it, and the more I listen to Jada talk, the more that I'm convinced that Tupac died to get away from her. I feel like... Easily. They dated for a while, you know what I mean? And then he got a taste of what Will has lived with. And then he was in Vegas and he got into it with some dudes on some gang shit and stuff like that. And they shot at him and he thought about what life would be like with Jada. And so he just leaned into the bullet. She said they haven't been together. Her and Will have not been together since 2016, which does make the slap more confusing now. That's right, because like that, they haven't lived together since 2016. Now it feels less like you were defending your wife and more like you just wanted to hit Chris Rock. Like, turn that man to a tambourine for no reason. That's insane. It really is. Like, what? Not even defending your wife at this point. You were defending your neighbor, I guess. Haven't lived together since 2016. It also makes the entanglement more confusing now. Watching Will and Jada is just like the Black Inception. You know what I mean? It's just a nightmare and a nightmare and a nightmare. There's twists that nobody asked for. What? Entanglement. Because then, this is my thing. If they weren't together, why'd they have that whole talk acting like they were together? It made them look worse. Why did they do that? It made her look like a cheater and him look like a cuck, but then they weren't together. So what's the big deal now? I mean, the big deal is that she fucked her son's friend, which is... A lot of people don't know that. That was Jaden's friend. So Jaden over there waiting for play dates and stuff. Ain't nobody showing up like it's a Brazzers video. It's so chaotic. No, it's just very chaotic. And look, I want to be fair for a second. I do want to be fair. Everyone comes for Jada and everybody shits on Jada so hard. And I get it. It's easy because she won't stop talking. But like, some of this is on Will. We can all agree about some of this is genuinely on Will. People blame Jada for the slap. That's not her fault. That's a grown man. And he got up there and he slapped another grown man. You can't blame her for that. It's not like she used her powers. And people blame a lot of the marriage stuff on just Jada. Will is also married to Jada. You know what I mean? He could get a divorce if he wants to, but he doesn't want to. He does not want, and if you pay attention to the interviews, he said it. Divorce is not an option. He'd rather them live as single people and still be married than to get a divorce. Which is weird. It is weird. I understand. For a long time, they were the symbol of black love, especially in Hollywood, right? And that's a symbol that he carefully curated that maybe she didn't want to be a part of, but it's one of the reasons he can't let it go, because it's a failure that he will not accept, right? But to just live as two single people but still be married is weird. It's very odd. Who is it for? It's not for them. They're not together. It's not for us, because now she aired it out. Everybody knows. It's not for the kids, because they're already weird. So who is this for? And like, I mean, it must be rough. I do get it. I have empathy for both of them genuinely, because I think Will, you know, came on strong, wants to make it work and everything, and Jada was just not having it. And a part of me, you know, I'm wrapping up, but just a part of me, a part of me gets it. Because if it's not the life that she wanted, it shouldn't be the life she accepted. That's fair. You're an adult in the world and you make your own decisions and you need to live by them, right? But also, to be fair to her, I don't have a gorgeous millionaire trying to fuck me and marry me. I don't know. It probably seems pretty hard to turn down. I'm not gonna lie. Like if Zendaya walked in here right now and y'all look like you're together, if she told you, bro, if she was like, I want to marry you and be with you for the rest of my life, you'd probably be like, look, I'm in a happy relationship and I found my happiness. I hope you find yours. I'm not saying it'd be easy to say to her. You'd probably say it after I do, but... but y'all have been great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one. I can't tell the story is hilarious or heartbreaking. I think you'll decide. There's a pastor in Colorado that scammed his congregation out of $3.2 million. No, it's a heartwarming story. It was all for crypto. He made a coin. And he passed it off to his congregation, saying that the Lord wanted to bless them. And then they invested. And then he's now been caught and is being charged with fraud. And he pocketed 1.3 million of the 3.2 million. And so he came out and he made a video, and in the apology video, he is very honest. He's like, listen, the Lord spoke to my wife and I and said to, make this coin and everything. And I even said to God, I like how he acts like God is a guy, just like, and that he's a guy that he can't get on the phone right now, but was talking wild a couple weeks ago. And so he's like, and then look, I was even asking God, because I'm not even omniscient like God is. I'm not over here like God. And I even asked God, I was like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And honestly, if your pastor ever says liquidity to you, that should be the first sign to run. Run as fast as you can, as far away as possible. And so he's like, I even asked God, where's the liquidity going to come from? And God said, trust me. And so then I immediately told you it would be fine. That's my bad. I want you to know, out of that 1.3 million that my wife and I pocketed, 500,000 went to the IRS, which is a meaningless detail, by the way. Like, yes, you paid your taxes, but that's just a weird thing that the pastor did to be like, hey, look, while we're being honest, I got fucked too, okay? IRS really get everybody, don't they? It's like, as much as we hate the IRS, you're not going to flip this around on them right now. And then he got caught, and he's like, yes, we did spend it on some trips and a home renovation that the Lord told us to do. I'm starting to think that Lord is just some guy's last name to him. Just a Marcus Lord that does a lot of cocaine. It's like, I got a new coin. You should tell your peeps, you should get them in on it. Because I've read a good portion of the Bible, and I don't know. No, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone that was in the congregation. I'm expressly not saying that. Like, but it is a thing where it's like, if you read the Bible, what he's saying will be weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you read the Bible and you have a general understanding of it, when a guy comes to you and he's like, listen, the Lord about them gains, okay? I think it makes it easier for you to be like, oh, I think this guy is full of shit. Thank you. But that's a scary thing, though, is that, like, there's a blurred line now, blurred almost to the point of being indistinguishable between, like, pastors and influencers. You know what I mean? Like a pastor used to be, at least where I come from, a pastor used to at least be poor. You know what I mean? When a pastor is poor, they're very easy to believe. Because you see how poor they are, and they're like, oh, you really about that life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a poor pastor is like it's like a gang member that has been shot a few times, where you can see the lumps. And you're like, oh, you're really dangerous. Okay. A pastor that's poor makes a more convincing argument. Because even when you try to check their work, you're like, if nothing else, even if they are absolutely out of their mind,
they at least believe this because they're willing to dedicate their whole life to, and to it exactly, to it only, right? To whatever mission they feel like God has led them to. They're willing to focus solely on that to the point of being completely removed from the world, right? So any worldly thing doesn't affect them. They have no interest in it. They're only focused on whatever the thing is. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's spreading the word. Maybe it's knocking on doors at 6 a.m. or whatever they feel led to do. And then a rich pastor tells, a rich pastor has a more alluring argument. Because a rich pastor rolls up in a Rolls Royce in a $10,000 suit with a $200,000 watch and a pinky ring. Like, the amount of pastors dressing like pimps needs to be talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many wires crossing with, like, I'll see a pastor dressed fully like Don Bishop Juan, and I'll be like, oh, yes, you are pimping your congregation. Yes, I get it. Wow. And in their faces too, you're brazen with it because you dress rich in front of them and they're poor to make you rich. And wow, that is ballsy. Maybe you do have God's protection. That's crazy that you're going to do that in their face. And then you tell them what you buy. If you see these televangelists, they tell the people what they bought with the money that they said was going to missions and to... Because when the plate is getting passed around, it's so that we can help the poor and that we can spread the word and that we can, sort of build up the church to have things for you as a community. One of the only reasons to have church is for a community. It doesn't even have to be fully like-minded people. It could just be people that you feel like safe and in communion with. And so, yes, sometimes everybody pulls their money together and then they're like, what would be great is a rec center for the kids. And then a church will put all their money into building a building that could be a rec center for the kids so that they don't get in trouble. There are lots of things and ways that churches spend money that I do think are good. And so when I see like a mega church's facilities, I'm not immediately skeptical. It's when I see the person and he's dressed so much like a pimp. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It is full pimp outfit. Like, it's to the point of tacky. Like, we're not even talking about just because he has a suit. I'm talking about he has like, they are all stopping short of a cane. Like, they're millionaires in your face, and they're telling you, I have all this stuff because, because God blessed me with this jet. I purchased this jet for the Lord. So that I could fly from place to place quicker, spreading the message. And I would even believe that if we didn't have Zoom. If Zoom was not a thing, I would get a pastor being like, I have to get over there to spread the word as quickly as possible. They don't know. They have no idea. And it's not like we can send them a telegram or something. It's not like there's been iterations of communication for decades that would negate me buying a jet to fly it to, I'm not going to tell you where. Like, how did we get here? And look, it is probably, it's probably an easy thing to have happen. It is. It's probably, I think that I'm trying to be gracious for a second. I really am. I'm trying to extend an olive branch for a second and just, no, just hear me out. I do think that there's something that speaks to these pastors, but I think what has happened is that they have mistaken God for their intrusive thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know all of you, I don't know, exactly what your lives are like. I don't know if you grew up with religious or not, or what religion or anything. I'm just saying, as individuals, every single one of us here, if we were to lead a congregation and we were to pass around a jar or a plate, collection plate, anything like that, and everybody gave something because we made a compelling case that it is your job as a citizen of the world to help people that you may never meet, right? Is your actual duty as a living, breathing, empathetic individual that you have to do something. If someone somewhere is hurting, you don't need to know them and you don't need to know why they got there. That's none of your business. It's important to help someone. And then the plate gets passed around and you make such a compelling argument that everybody puts, $1, $5, $10, or like the Bible says, 1/10 of their income to help the poor. And then church is over. Everybody leaves. And then you go to the back office where they have piled up all the money, and you do look at it and go, nigga, we rich. I mean, wow. Oh, we really cooking right now. Oh, man, I get the pinky with the soup. Oh. I'm not going to get the cane. That's too much, but oh. Just looking at a pile of money, a pile of envelopes with 1/10 of someone's paycheck in order for them to either spread the word of God or help people that they will never meet, build a well, do something so it matters that we were here, right? And then you see the money and it's stacked pretty high because it's a big church. And you look at all that money and it's hard not to be like, game time? That's a tough thing. A friend said to me today, because I was telling him about the story, and he said to me that if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? Like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare. But I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It was actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you gotta remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is. And then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watch the show. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything, that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, you know, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything. But that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Everybody really is welcome. Oh, jeez. All right, cool.
I was learning to swim. I was in the beginner class, but there was like an advanced beginner that I should have been doing in this swim lesson. But because I didn't say anything, have I told you about this before? Because I didn't say anything,
I was just chuckling at. I was chuckling at advanced beginner.
Oh,
so like that's
well, no, literally,
this is full ass oxymoron.
This is what happened. This is what's so annoying.
Yeah.
So there was just swimming lessons that my mom took me to,
Mm-hmm.
and I had had some swimming lessons years ago, but hadn't been in a pool since. And so I was a beginner still in my mind, because I was like, hey, if I'm still this nervous to get in the water, I'm not an advanced swimmer, you know? And so then I get in the water, and at first the teacher's like going over the rules in the pool and everything, just like watch out for each other, don't kick each other, like no, you know, dunking each other, you know, like just everyone was getting this lesson. Then she was like, okay, the kids who can swim this much come with me. The kids who like can't swim at all go over there. And so in my mind, I'm a kid who can't swim at all, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I go over to the other direction, and then when I when I get over there, it's just a bunch of tiny kids. So it's me, this like 14-year-old, and then all of these like itty bitty babies getting swim lessons. Now be honest though,
how much bigger were you than them really?
They were like 4.
Oh, okay.
They were like 4 and 5. And I'm like 14.
Right.
And so the lesson starts, and they're like, we're just going to blow bubbles under the water. And in my head, I'm like, I've done all this. Like, what is this? This doesn't make any sense. And the other kids were like doing like half laps on the other side of the pool, but we're like going under the water just a little bit and blowing bubbles. And like, it felt like I was in a Lamaze class and I was the baby. Like, it was so embarrassing. And I didn't have the wherewithal to quit the lesson or to leave the teacher. Because the teacher is the teacher's acting like I need to be over there. And then we do the whole lesson. And then there's this one kid who I guess is just, I'm definitely the odd kid out. I'm the only one over here as old as I am. And this one kid who shouldn't be over here either, because he's like 5 or so, but he's like swimming in place. And so I'm like, who's going to get this kid? This is insane, right? Like, this kid's like a little mermaid. And then he looks at me as I'm like doing whatever little kick exercise we're supposed to be doing. Because you know how they have you, when you're getting a swim lesson, they'll also have you grab the edge of the pool and do some kicks and stuff, like to learn how to push yourself and everything. And I'm pushing, and this other kid next to me, the little like 5-year-old kid, is also pushing, and he just looks at me and he goes, "So what's wrong with you?" And from that moment, I was like, okay, I have an enemy. Like I have a mortal enemy. I don't want anything good for this kid.
I'm about to be an advanced murderer.
Because I was like,
wow.
what? And then he repeated it. He was like, "What's wrong with you?"
What's wrong with you?
And I was like,
so what's wrong with you?
I was like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? And this is as I'm kicking. And he's like, you're like a grown-up kid. I'm kicking next to him like, there's no grown-up kid. Like, if you're a kid, you're a kid.
Hey, now if they're going to be advanced beginners, I think there can be grown-up kids.
Yeah, right. And so...
Sorry, I'm just having fun with all the oxymorons today.
So then he's like, why aren't you over there? And I was like, because I can't swim like they can. Like this little kid doesn't understand the concept of like, I just don't know as much as they know. I know more than the class. Like I should have been in middle beginner, because the marquee, like the thing that you buy when you go to this swim lesson says beginner.
Right.
So already them breaking up the class was kind of wild, you know? So then I'm going to what I think is a beginner class. Now, they didn't fully explain what that meant, but I projected my own stuff onto it, because in my head I was like, okay, they're going to take the little bit that I know how to swim and make me able to fully swim. And I won't be able to swim in deep water, but I'll be able to swim the length of the pool without needing to put my foot down to get air, and you know what I mean? Like that thing. Yeah.
The basic goal of all swimming lessons is to get good enough to just not drown should you find yourself in water. Yeah. No matter what, that's the the base level is if I find myself in water, I want to be able to not die. Yeah. I'm good with that.
And so then I'm like kicking next to this kid, and this kid is talking to me, and he clearly gets bored while he's asking me all these questions. So he stops grabbing the edge of the pool and just lets it go, flips over, and is now on his back, sort of like kicking up. Like, so he's just floating on his back and still moving his legs a little bit, but he's just sort of like moving in place. And I'm watching, I'm like, why are you over here?
Moving in place.
Like, this dude is like, he's like swimming like he was born in the water.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was a water birth.
Maybe it was a water birth.
Maybe they come out with a little extra skill.
And so then I asked the kid, because I get a little attitude with the kid, because he just keeps asking me why I'm over there. You're like a grown up kid, blah blah blah. I was like, hey, there's no grown up kids, it's just kids. And then finally I was like, why aren't you over there? And then this kid goes, oh, I don't know. And then he goes under the water and goes and swims over with the bigger kids.
Wow. You reminded him that he was a great swimmer.
Yeah.
He in the moment was like, oh, you're right, I'm very good at this. Whee! Here I go. He shoots out of the water like a dolphin.
And he didn't go under the water like, oh, let me get my bearings and then go swim. This kid went backwards like he was in a swim competition. Like he just doubled over in the water and flipped and then started swimming. Like he was a dolphin. I hated this kid so much. And so then the lesson ends. And I can't remember if my mom took me there or my aunt took me there. But whoever took me there, I get out of the pool and I'm like, why did they have me with the little kids? Like I knew how to swim more than that. And then she was like, I don't know. I was waiting for you to say something. Like, because they stayed for the lesson. So I can't remember who it was, but they saw the whole thing. It was either my mom or my aunt that took me. But this is like so long ago, I don't remember. But she was like, yeah, I was waiting for you to say something. I was like, when's he going to get tired of this? And then, okay, so then where the pool was like a snow cone cart. So there's a snow cone cart off a little bit ways at that, like near that pool. You still have to walk to it.
Okay.
And that kid, that 5-year-old, I'm leaving the pool, and he's already swam and then run over and got a snow cone and come back. And he said something like snide to me. I can't remember what it was. And it was so mean that it didn't seem like he was 5. It seemed like only an older kid could have thought of something so mean. But he was.
You got bullied by a kid 10 years younger than you.
But how? It's not bullying because I was not like.
You kind of sort of got bullied by a 5-year-old in this story.
Just because he was being mean to me doesn't mean I was bullied. By that logic, I've been bullied by a lot of babies. All right? I've picked up a baby before and just immediately started crying, which didn't feel nice.
Criming? What'd you say?
I thought I said crying. What did I say?
I think you said cramming. That's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, but he made fun of you, so what's wrong with you? And then he got you again at the snow cone cart.
Yeah, so.
And you seem still not happy about it. So to me, that's what makes it, puts it in the realm of getting bullied.
Nah.
I bet he's huge now, too.
And so I'm walking away. And a kid said something about like, what was it? It was like really messed up. It was to the point where I was like, "Oh, you're not 5." He said, "Oh yeah, don't forget your floaties next time" or something. He said something like that was like in that vein of like, "Are you gonna bring a noodle next time?" or like whatever the thing was, right? And. So this kid,
dog, you got bullied. I don't know how to tell you.
Look, fine,
a 5-year-old definitely bullied you. You got big dogged by a 5-year-old.
Fine, whatever. This kid's like, yeah, don't forget your floaty next time. And as he goes,
he lunged at you and you flinched.
No, that's not what happened. And so then, as he said that, he went to take a lick from his snow cone, and the snow cone was such an ice ball that it all just fully moved with his tongue off of the cup and fell on the ground. And I remember I just laughed at him because he was so shocked. He didn't know that could happen. Little man hadn't been around the block a couple times, didn't know how to eat a snow cone like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's good with the liquid water, but what about the frozen water? Little pump. All right. I'm glad gravity told him what time it was, And so anyway, he licked the snow cone. It fell off.
He's such a fucking idiot.
Me? What did I do?
No.
In this story, I didn't do anything.
No, but I love you because you talked about like swift comeuppance, but it took so long for him to get comeuppance.
What do you mean so long?
Really...
What do you mean so long? He said the thing, and then he took a lick, and then his afternoon was ruined.
That was the second thing, though. He'd already bullied you earlier.
But it's swift comeuppance when you do a thing and then a thing happens. You're taking it as if it's the whole entirety of the situation.
You're also just acting like you won, which you still got bullied by a 5-year-old.
No, that kid was real upset.
He dropped
That kid's day was ruined. I didn't have to do anything to that kid. That kid licked the snow cone. It fell off the cup, and he was. That's where the 5-year-old kickback is. So he got like too big for his britches because he knew how to swim. But as soon as his snow cone splattered on the ground, he was a kid again, and he was all upset.
Oh God, excuse me.
What?
I was coughing. So you're saying the snow cone put him in his place, is what you're trying to say?
100%.
You did nothing. You did nothing and just watched.
I didn't have to do anything.
As your tormentor.
What was I supposed to do?
At a slight inconvenience.
My tormentor. The slight inconvenience. Oh. Hey, this wasn't a neighborhood full of money. That was his only snow cone for the weekend.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. At least he got to feel like a big dog next to you.
Nah.
Even him out.
I was chilling.
Yeah, you sound real chill about it. I was chilling.
I was so happy.
Oh.
Just splatted. He had a bunch of blue all over his legs like an idiot. He looked so stupid. It got on his swim trunks. I don't know, I just laughed at him.
It's also really hard for me to imagine the story just not as you now either. It's really hard. I'm not really imagining a 14-year-old Josh. I'm just imagining you just like ha 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 in this kid's face.
Hey, that kid deserved that. Oh man, that's so funny to me that he you could see on his face he got real upset. Like he didn't even the bully was gone at that point. Like you want to say he bullied me? Any sort of bully in nature just melted away, and then he was a kid who wanted to cry because his snow cone hit the ground. Oh man. I'm pretty sure it was the first lick too. That's what makes it even more hilarious.
That's
to me.
Embarrassing.
The fact that it's like he was about to enjoy a snow cone and then he went. Bruh.
That's the little kid equivalent of like losing your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That first lick and then your thing falls. You're kind of like, what do I do with my life now?